Hey, hi. So lucky for you, this was supposed to be a live session. Unfortunately, I couldn't have the whole thing be a live session due to the fact that my microphone at the time was picking up a lot of background noise, and for me personally, it was very annoying. My phone just went off. I don't know if you heard that. So I decided instead I'm going to go ahead and just speed up the first portion, and what I actually did today on the 13th you will see as a live session. It will be available for you to watch, listen, and enjoy. And it's more than an hour, so I hope you're okay with that and you have fun with it. But other than that, I hope you enjoy the video, and I'm sorry that it's so lengthy. Once again, it is a live session, but lucky for you, because the audio was messed up in the other files, you don't have to deal with that. You don't have to deal with more than, an hour and a half, I think. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you are ready to embark on stupidity. Hey, so I'm back, and it's been it's been a good 500 years since I worked this cover. So funnily enough, because I'm too lazy to go find the proper wires, I'm actually recording my voice, everything that you're hearing me saying on my PC, and I am recording my video file on my tablet. So if the audio does not match up with the video file, that is why. I will try to do my best in editing to fix this. However, this is just how it's going to be. So I actually did review the last footage of me recording this to figure out where I left off, what I was talking about, and it seems like I wasn't really talking about anything important, so we're just gonna go in and pretend this is the same session. Alright, so during my break of not working on this, I realized that I don't really much care for the size of his hand, and I feel the need to make it bigger. Which I know is really fucking weird, because it's a big hand already. But no, I need to make it huge. I have to do this. This is something that is an absolute must. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to make it wider or anything. I'm going to just make it longer. Like his palm is going to be a little longer. Like that. I feel like that's a good size. And now I'm just going to connect the lines. And that's a white line, not the black ink that I was using. So a lot has happened since I last recorded. I know I said let's just pretend this is the same session, but I just figured I'd talk a bit. To be honest, I actually don't know what has happened since. I don't even remember when I was recording this. I want to say this was like August or July. Anyway, since then I have decided that I am actually going to complete both. Actually, no, I actually went back and said that I was... Okay, so originally I was toying with the idea of actually completing both and just letting you guys vote for it, the patrons vote for it. But then I was like, well, what are the chances that I'm actually going to make another cover involving Curtis's hand? Probably never. I'm probably never really going to do that again. So this might be my only chance to make a cover with him on it. And no, that's not me saying that basically he's going to leave the comic in this chapter or something, or this is it of him. We might see him in future chapters. I'm not going to confirm or deny anything, mainly because I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but I just don't see him appearing on a cover again. But I am definitely, I can definitely see Evina appearing on a cover again. I'm getting distracted because for some reason when I started recording, fuck, I made that line there. For some reason when I started recording, I got a whole lot of emails and I have no idea why. Also, I've been streaming a lot lately, which has honestly really helped with talking and basically just being weird as fuck and not being scared to be weird as fuck. So if you see me use vulgar language, or just basically I'm not holding anything back, that's probably why. Because I come to terms with, if I want to stream And if I want to, you know, not step on any toes, I have to be myself. Because in reality, trying to not step on toes is really fucking boring and really annoying. And I shouldn't have to be someone that I'm not because other people are upset about it. So I decided that, you know what, I'm just gonna be myself. I'm going to relax. This is who I am. There's nothing I can, like, I can't change my voice or things about me, really. Like, this is just who I am. This is probably who I will always be. So I'm trying to be more relaxed about it. Hope you guys enjoy this and you have fun. Also, I noticed in the recording of mine, you can hear droplets of water, and that's because my sink is busted. It's not doing that anymore. I don't know why. It did stop doing that, so here's to hoping it's all good. I am like trying to kind of like think to myself, like, what do I want to do? Because his finger does look a little weird like this. Like, I'm trying to do it myself and I can't really. Oh yeah, that's right. I had a reference thing, right? Oh, this is a different cover. Don't mind this. This was for a different cover. Okay, thought I had the, is it here? No, this is Venus. Okay, I guess I must have deleted my sketches and all that. Well, that fucking sucks. Anyway, moving on. I don't know what I was talking about. So yeah, if you guys hear the droplets and you don't hear them anymore, like running water or whatever, yeah, that was my sink. I didn't know that got picked up. I did change the audio settings to my mic. Hopefully it sounds much better and you guys won't deal with that ever again. Hopefully. So yeah, I have been streaming, like I said. It has really helped me with my like vocal range too, and like being comfortable and like stepping out of my shell with recording. So I think I'm going to be more confident in the future with making videos like these. At least I hope so. There is the video that I wanted to do involving like Hell and how she, you know, how she came to be. But at the same time, I don't really want to do that because it's like such a like, it's just a dumpster dive really to do. Like, it sounds great to do for a video like that because that is a doll video where I basically am working on her anatomy and a reference pic of her basically. But it's not very entertaining. I don't know. I don't think it's fun. At the same time, I don't really know what to do. I might do that. I might not. I might decide, oh hey, I want to do something where I talk about her personality or her history instead of talking about how she came to be, because I feel like I went over this story like 1,000 times already on like, you know, how I came up with her, who she is, etc. I'm just trying to figure out how this would work. You know, I don't smoke. I'm not a smoker, so I have no idea how this works. Like, I'm just trying to put things together and just hope that it looks pretty. That's basically what I do with when it comes to my art. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just trying my best. This finger looks very big because it's his nail. But this is also something I tend to suffer from. I have a very hard time controlling the size of people's hands and fingers and making them look normal, like the others. I think that looks pretty decent. I don't think that looks too bad. Okay, now I'm just going to try and clean up the lines. Because I am working decently fast, because I do actually want to get this done. I don't need to get it done, but it would be nice to have it, like, because you know, it's a cover. Covers normally are really quick to do. I am so excited for this chapter. Like, I think I already talked about it in my previous, like, files of when I was working on this, but this chapter is all about, like, just putting pieces together, and you know, it's like a mystery, a bunch of shit. It's awesome, okay? I really love it, and I really hope people like it, because I tried so hard to look at it from like a detective kind of perspective, even though I'm not a detective, and I don't watch true crime. I'm just going to say this right now. I am one of those people that does not watch true crime. It's not who I am, it's not what I do. But I am one of those people who do enjoy a good mystery. And I like to put my own together because I think it's fun. However, something that I know that I'm not good at is I'm sorry. I need to drink water, because if not, my throat fails. Anyway, I am not the type of person who is really good at making things make sense. I never have been, which is why I've never, even though I've had ideas for like murder mysteries and all that, I've never done it. This will be the closest thing for me to finally making one, I guess. Because in case it's not obvious, people might not have picked up, because a whole lot of cold water just went down my leg, because you know when like your cup decides it wants to, like, what is it called? Perspirate or something like that? It like, it happens. It just decides to just bleed out all the contents because it's super fucking cold or something like that. Yeah, that's what just happened. It just went down my desk and went down my leg. So I just froze there. In case it wasn't obvious, as I was trying to say before, I got rudely interrupted by cold water. Evina is actually working on Annie's case. She's trying to find out what happened to Annie, because even though, yeah, sure, Annie is alive, kind of, right now, she is a vampire, and in case you know the vampire lore in my story, which I have said that it's available on my website to read, vampires only come to be if they have been severely wronged, which normally means a crime has been committed. You can make assumptions about whatever crime it was, but basically Annie was hurt badly, to the point she died, and she came back as a vampire, and Evina wants to find out— oh fuck. No. Evina wants to find out why. She wants to find out why this happened and who hurt Annie, because whoever hurt Annie could be trying to hurt other people, and that's something she's basically trying to avoid. I don't know why I'm doing it and why. I think it's because I've been doing a lot of like black and white art with him. I've been making his smoke white, which is probably not a good idea. Actually, let me see something. I'm currently going through my other chapter covers because I want to get the background color. You know what? Let me get Annie's background color. I think I'm gonna copy her background that I made. Ooh, that's not what I meant to do. What? Come here. Okay, there we go. This and one. I'm gonna copy it and I'm gonna paste it over here. Wow. Oh yeah, that's right, because I changed the size. Is it? Oh, because of her body right there. I was like, why is it so messy over here? Like, what happened? Yeah, I'm just gonna fix this really quick. There we go. I think it will be a nice nod, because, you know, him and Annie, you know, being intertwined in maybe the same mess. I feel like it would be a nice nod having her same background for his cover. Also, I think the blending looks nice. Speaking of which, if you hear my computer overheating, that's because I'm recording and it hates. Okay, that's not bad. I am thinking about making his glove pitch black. I've been doing that a lot recently, and I kind of like the look. And now I just have to blend this. Oh, this is something I completely forgot I had to do. Yeah, so I'm actually thinking about redoing chapter 1 and chapter 2's covers, because even though I do like them, I do like the idea of more like just having a hand to represent like the covers, which I know might be weird because a lot of people are like, oh, cover time, this is the time to make it really, like, you know, your art speak about your story. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want people to expect something different. Such as, what can you really expect from just seeing his hand? You can probably expect this is where he appears. And you'd be right, and this is the most you'll expect. Like, you know, I'm not giving you, like, high expectations. I'm not giving you that. I'm giving you basically the answers. And I don't know, I think it looks nice and simple. Like, no one expects your art to look a certain way, really. No one expects something else from the story. Like, I have a friend, we don't really talk much, but she makes very intricate, she used to make very intricate covers. She doesn't work on webcomics anymore. And they were very detailed, but what you'd look at the cover did not always resemble what happened in the story. Okay, so I hope, like, no one, like, figures out who I'm talking about, because I'm not talking crap about them, but I don't want anyone, like, thinking I'm trying to talk crap about them. Because as soon as you mention, oh, this is what this person does, and it didn't work out, it just sounds negative. Basically, everything's going to sound negative right now. I feel like I talked about this before, too. But, so if I have, I'm sorry. Obviously, I'm going to review the video files when it comes to editing. Anyway, she made a cover for one of her chapters of her character in a completely different scenario of what she is ever really in the chapter that was for. So let's just say, this is just a hypothetical thing because I don't want anyone to really, like, figure out who I'm talking about. Let's just say she drew her character in a playground, but the actual chapter took place at school or on the beach or something. Basically, her character was never in the playground, is what I'm saying. So even though she represented her character on a playground, her character was never in the playground. So that's why I really try to avoid making intricate covers. I normally try to make covers about the characters who are going to be in the chapter. Like, Evina's going to be in this chapter, and it's basically only going to be really about Evina. Out of all the main girls, Evina's going to be the prominent one. Annie is mentioned, but she's never seen. So, which, sorry, spoilers, yeah. Annie is never really seen in this chapter, except through flashbacks. I know, I just gave that away. But, yay! At least we get to see flashback her, so, like, my phone went off. So, like, we can see, what she looked like beforehand, even though I've drawn her and I've shown the colors of her beforehand. We can see, like, more of her, I guess. Even though in flashbacks I'm trying to do a thing where it's very muted, so we don't see, basically so you know it's a flashback. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, I think this background is blended out decently. Now we can move on to fixing up the white smoke, and then we are going to color him in. Well, also, that is something I wanted to do. Which one is it? This. I always like to do this because I think it looks kind of cool. Even though I know it's gonna get cut off, I still like it for the digital version. Which, by the way, I'm aware that he has bandages on his wrist. I promise you he does not do tic-tac-toe. If you don't know what tic-tac-toe is, it's just a nicer way of saying what some other people might do when they're sad. I think it's like the trigger-free warning. do say that. I could be wrong. I kind of suck at this. Okay, so this is where it's going to be pitch black on his glove. I'm just gonna go fill it in. This. What else can I talk about? So, oh yeah, so like I was saying, I wanted to redo chapter 2 and chapter 1 for those reasons. Like chapter 2 we see Paul's giant ass on the cover, which I mean is not a bad thing. But it's just, I don't know, like I feel like I could do better. So I'm actually thinking about redoing that soon. And I think I'm gonna save the chapter 1's cover for last because I'm not 100% sure what I want to do for that cover. Yeah, because it's like hands, you know, they're nice to do. I feel like they can be very expressive. But they're just, I don't know, I feel like it could get boring. Which is why I've thought about doing like, other things, like, in case you understood what chapter 4's cover is going to be, it's supposed to be like a hand reaching out of the ground holding a flower. So there is going to be some detail, like it's not just hands, but hands are my favorite to draw. Especially when I spend a lot of time on them, I feel like they can look really fucking good. So it's just like I'm having my own internal struggle right now because I do like chapter 1's cover, I think it looks great. And I think it represents things nicely. I like the more simple covers more. I'm also thinking about renaming chapter 1 and chapter 2 to more simple titles. But I don't know what yet. I have no idea if I'm doing this right. I know it's no longer inside the lines, but I'm trying to do it where it looks like love. So I just have no idea what I'm doing. Alright, now I'm just going to go ahead and erase some parts so that it is shiny, like it's leather. I know I actually have to do a body, like a doll thing of Curtis too. I'm gonna have to do one of Annie. I have to do one of all, like, the characters. Curtis I think would just be fun to do, for no particular reason at all. I think that's pretty okay. This is the white smoke, right? Okay. Let me fix up the white smoke, and then I'll move on to coloring. Not easy to draw smoke. Like, I want to start learning how to do, like, stylized smoke. And by that I just mean, I'm probably going to insert an image when I do the editing for this. But I just mean, like, if you've seen League of Legends, or like the animations for it, how they do this smoke is like very cool and cartoony, but still looks 3D and fun. Like, I kind of want to do that. That's why I'm trying to do these like shapes to them, because I think it comes off kind of cool. Even though this totally looks like it would be like someone's abstract tattoo art. I don't know, I just feel like it's kinda cool. I'm thinking about erasing this dot. Okay, yeah, that looks better without the dot. Let me do that. Oops. Like this. Alright, I think that's pretty good. Actually, let me... Okay, now I think that looks better. It's a whole lot of trial and error with making a cover, or honestly any art. And do that so it can kind of mimic the, you know, this. So in case, like, it's not obvious, the reason he puts wraps on his hands is because he tends to punch things a lot. Doesn't necessarily mean that he's wrapping it up to stop the bleeding. It could just be, it's a mixture. It really is a mixture. It's hard to get into. Do I want to include spikes on his... No, I'm not going to include spikes. Mainly because I'm lazy and there's just, like, no point to it. This really quickly so I can... I think that would be silver, right? I think this would be like the buckle of it. I don't know. And I'm just gonna put some white on here and just to kind of like highlight it. No one's gonna know what it is, but whatever. I don't care. I really don't care enough. And now we can move on to coloring him. Okay, so we're gonna have to go get his file because I haven't put down his flats yet on a, what do you call it? On a color sheet. I haven't done his color sheet yet because I haven't prepped chapter 3's color sheet yet. I'm actually still gonna like work on it because we're also gonna see Adam a lot, and I have discussed this before in like a Patreon post. But I remembered that I don't work in CMYK. I'm going to have to definitely do tonal corrections and conversions, obviously. And unfortunately, because I wanted Adam to be a dark skin tone, like, you know, really dark, you know, nice and chocolatey kind of, it doesn't come off well when you convert it. He comes off very dark to the point it, he might not get picked up. Basically, he might be a blob of black on my page. So I'm gonna have to do that. Like, rearrange everything. I don't know why I did that. I could have just copied it. Oh well. Nope, this is not it. Right here. No, I accidentally copied that. Back. Okay, there we go. What just happened? Oh my god. I give up. Okay, I'm gonna close this. Did it work through? Where are you? Oh, okay. Behind the darkness. Okay. I really only needed his skin. I don't know why I picked up everything. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So I'm going to basically be redoing Adam's skin tones, and while I'm at it, I might try and redo Hazel as well. And I might try and redo Dermot. I actually don't know how to say his name, but basically Myrna's boyfriend. Because obviously, like I said, the conversions, they would come up very dark, basically just wouldn't look good in physical copies. So I have to change it. Because printers apparently don't like dark colors. I see a lot of comics do it in a muted tone, which is not what I wanted. I wanted them to be like very bright and vibrant and warm, not cool. But it seems like that doesn't work, so I'm stuck doing that. I'm probably gonna have to like copy paste some colors from physical printed comics just to get a good idea of what to get or what to use. It really sucks because I didn't want to have to like make them cool toned. I wanted them to be warm toned. I started to hear something, so I was trying to listen for it. Yeah, it just really sucks, and it's unfortunate. Another thing that sucks is that his skin tone almost like blends in with this background up here. It's kind of hard to see. I might fix this thumb in a bit. I don't like how it seems like the nail is too far off from his thumb. But I'm going to erase it just a little bit. I think that looks better. Or, oops. There we go. And I'm just gonna put the white in here. All coming together. And now I have to color in his bandages, which is going to be on a different layer. Speaking of which, I just remembered that my friend is supposed to be streaming today. It's Wednesday, but maybe she isn't, and I'm going to feel awful if she has been and I missed it. I should ask her just in case. No, she started streaming! Oh no. No! She did stream. I'm so sad. She streamed for an hour. She stopped streaming 20 minutes ago. I feel awful. I'm an awful friend. Now I have to open up Discord and check on her. Anyway, while I do that and wait for Discord to open. But I heard something and it kind of like freaked me out. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. There we go. I don't think that's supposed to be a bandage up there. If it is, I think I made it too. So I'm just going to erase this part. Okay, that looks... I'm just messaging my friend right now. I forgot, was this supposed to be like an instructional video on how I do things? Because I don't remember. Anyway, so in case it wasn't obvious, after I finished inking it, which I do in a separate layer, I obviously put the flats down, and normally each flat has its own layer. So like, His skin tone is a layer, but above that layer is his bandage, which is actually clipped to his skin tone. You can see here by a red line, it's clipped. So like basically it can't go out of the section that I already colored in. So like, if his skin tone doesn't pass the lines, neither will the bandages. Basically helps you color within the lines. And then his gloves, since I decided to make it pitch black and just give it some white shine, it's just its own layer. Oh, and the white is on the skin tone, but normally I only do that because like there's a gap, as you can see, like it's not connected, so I don't worry about it. I have to drink water because my throat's giving out. My vocal cords are being depleted. And then the white smoke is the layer that's underneath all of the other layers because it is meant to be behind him. Oh yeah, I forgot I need to color it a cigarette. Then I'm just gonna put that in, make it glow, or whatever. I don't know what I'm doing with that. It's a fucking cigarette, okay? Do this? Sorry, I know I'm saying omelet, and that's because I'm trying to kind of like pick up the pace and do everything in a timely manner, because I am aware that not a lot of people enjoy long streams. I'm also aware that I'm not the most entertaining person in the world, and that's a reason for people not to wanna, you know, watch 30 minutes plus of video coloring content shit, you know. So I'm kind of like just trying to get my brain together and figure out what I'm doing. Okay, so now I'm making a new layer, which is an orange layer. It's going to be the multiply layer. Actually, it's a red layer. The red layer symbolizes blushness and blemishes and like redness of the skin tone. The orange layer is meant to be the natural shading of our skin, such as if we are in a natural lit room, which normally I believe that's like, it's neutral, like there's sunlight or it's not too strong or too dark or anything. That's what that's supposed to be. And that's basically it, because I would normally do other layers that would have the clothes and all that, but the bandages are basically the only clothing layers he really has. And since I'm not going to do any special shading to the glove, I don't have to worry about that. So yeah. His glove is going to be its own layer. Not his glove, his bandages are going to be its own layer. It's not going to have any special shading or anything kind of layers to it. I'm just going to do that on its own layer. Alright, now let's get to shading him. So first I'm going to work on his tints, which is basically the redness of his skin. He is a very pale boy, and he has been blessed with not being too red in his face. I wasn't sure if I was gonna... Should I bruise his knuckles? I might do that. But obviously, we all have naturally tinted parts of our skin. It just... like, for comics and all that, it's an attractive look in my opinion because it gives different tones to the skin. It's not just one color. So I actually like adding this onto him. I actually like adding it onto all of my characters. I will do it any chance I get if I'm not too lazy. If I'm too lazy, I'll normally skip doing the fine details like this because I just can't be bothered. Because I don't want to, make it, like, harsh. I want to actually make it, like, blendish, like, blending into the skin. I might actually outline down here, white or something, like make a few lines white, just to kind of help separate his hand from the background. What else could I do? I could do his nails. Because even though he doesn't get a manicure or anything, the boy still has nails, and nails tend to be different colors than our hands. So I'm gonna do that. Got the prettiest nails in the whole world. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, I wouldn't imagine him having ugly nails, but I don't imagine he would actually clean the dirt out from underneath his nails, like, often. Unless he were to, like, actually try. Because I want to say he's not a dirty boy. I mean, he's a dirty boy, but he's not a dirty boy. He does actually groom himself fairly well. When he tries, he looks really good. Like, obviously he doesn't like being dirty, but he doesn't mind getting dirty. So if, like, his friends want to go camping, he'd be down to go camping. They want to go on a hike, he'll go on a hike. But he's not gonna jump in the mud and just lay there and spend the day, is what I'm saying. So, you know, if he had a little bit of dirt under his nails, that's like the least of his problems. I don't know why I'm talking about this. You guys probably don't give a shit. But I'm just giving context into what kind of character he is. He just, you know, he's complicated to understand because looking at him, he looks like a shallow fuck. Like, he looks like he could, like, he has the highest, expectations out of people. But he really doesn't. He's pretty chill. Like, he couldn't give a shit about anyone. And I think that's one of the things that Annie likes about him, and that's why she got close to him, is because he is very laid back. He doesn't expect a lot from you. And I think that's also why he kind of likes Annie, because Annie doesn't expect a lot from you either. Like, you know, he doesn't look like the best person in the world, and he is aware of that. He knows he looks like a shithead. He knows that he is a shithead. But I think one of the reasons he kind of accepted Annie's friendship is that she didn't expect, like, him to be a shithead, but she also didn't expect him to be a saint. And I think that's what, like, can really make people become friends, when you notice that they don't expect much from you, they just expect you to be you. And whoever you are is up for them to learn. I don't know, I contradict myself a lot, but basically I'm trying to say, like, Annie expected him to just be him. She didn't expect him to be a bad person, she didn't expect him to be a saint. And he didn't... Actually, that's not true. He actually expected her to be... No, it's very hard to say what he expected. Like, I had to take a sip of water. We're probably never gonna get into this in the story. This is definitely, like, prequel stuff, I think. But he... Like, looking at her, she goes to church, she's a very neat girl, she's a goody two-shoes, and by goody two-shoes, that's not meant to be an insult. I'm just saying, like, she doesn't really get into trouble. That's not really who she is. That's not her character. She enjoys going to school, minding her own business, and she likes just being home and spending time with her parents. That's basically who she is. She doesn't really expect much, or do much with her day. However, he expected her to be one of those fake 2D, wow, goody two-shoes. And by that I mean, like, girls who say that they're good, but they're really not. And basically he was saying, what I'm trying to say is that he expected her to be a two-faced bitch. That's what he thought she was, when they first met. They actually met, like, when they were, like, 11 or something, because if I'm correct, in his bio, he moved, from France to Texas when he was 10. So I think they would have officially met by the time they were both 11, or he was 11 and she was going to be 11. What, like 5th grade, 6th grade, something like that. I don't know, man. Grades are hard. School is hard. And I also, like, as a person who came from a different country with a completely different, like, school system, it gets really confusing. So, I don't know how it is in France, but I imagine he'd be confused too. So, like, I feel for him. Anyway. Because when they first met, she had no reason to talk to him, and by first met, I mean, like, when they were teens, even though they met when they were younger. He was very hostile towards her when they were younger, so she just never bothered associating with him again, because she was kind of scared of him. But she didn't, like, hold a grudge or anything. She felt like he was, like, a troublemaker, and that was it, and that they'd have no reason to interact. But then she decided to talk to him because she saw him again, and funnily enough, she saw him at church, which is, you know, he was forced to go to church by his parents. He didn't want to be there because he's actually an atheist. And he actually left church, like, he left mass midway because he's like, okay, I showed up, I'm going now. And his parents, like, even though they wanted to protest, they're in the middle of church, and they were just like, yeah, just let him go. He did make an effort. He showed up. He did what we asked him to. His parents are pretty chill. But Annie saw him leave, and she surprisingly left during, mass. She did excuse herself. She asked her parents for permission to go, and they were like, okay, sure. Like, you know, it's mass, but, like, it's okay. Like, you're a good girl. We trust you. They didn't know she was going to talk to him, though. And she also didn't say anything. You know, oh, I'm going to talk to that big goth boy over there. I'm gonna go. Like, it doesn't come off good, you know? So basically, like, she had no business talking to him. Like, there was no reason for her at all to leave mass midway to talk to him. Also, in case you guys can't tell, I have, like, a big smile telling the story because I think it's hilarious. And he sees her, and she, like, approaches him. She knows his name. However, he doesn't remember her very well. Like, he's seen her around school, but he also misses school a lot because he ditches. Or he just doesn't show up because he's not a morning person. He likes waking up, like, in the afternoon, and that's it. That's his style. But, so, like, he doesn't really know her, and he doesn't greet her with hostility, but he kind of greets her with, who the fuck are you? Like, I don't care about you. What are you doing? Annoying me, basically. Like, he has a very cocky attitude towards her. And she's just, no, she's trying to be nice, and this is where I'm trying to get to the point where he felt like she was up to no good trying to talk to him, like she was going to fuck with him or something. Because, you know, you see this good church girl approaching this big giant goth boy who is obviously not her type. They would not be in the same friend group. So he just figured this was gonna be some prank, so, you know, he was just, like, standing his ground, ready to, you know, go. But she really wasn't doing much. Eventually, he kind of just left. Because he didn't want to stay at church anyway, so he just left. And then she tried to make an effort again, way later on, when she tried to find him at school, but since he was ditching, he wasn't there. So instead, since they actually had the same class together, which she pointed out to him, like, we have class together. I know I'm getting into this, but let me just tell my story and enjoy hearing it, okay? I'm sorry. I fucking suck. I know. I'm like, I'm just fucking giddy because I love the story, okay? So she decided that she was going to get his homework for him, and that would be an excuse to stop by his place, because she knows where he lives. They are actually, in a way, neighbors, but, like, several houses over. Annie lives in a part where there are houses together, and then there's another part where it's, like, the richer houses, where they're more far apart from each other. She lives in the houses that are closer together. He lives in, like, the richer houses that have the bigger land, essentially. So she did that. She did go to his place. She found him outside. This is where the phrase, like, the little comic that I wrote or that I drew, where he's like, oh, don't stare too long, don't want you falling in love or anything. That's where this happens, because she goes to see him and he's actually outside his house, shirtless, because it's his house. That's his excuse. It's his land. He can be shirtless if he wants to. And that's when she goes to give him his homework and she asks him like, oh hey, you know, don't ditch school. And then she leaves shortly after because she didn't really know how to react to a guy standing outside the house shirtless, and I think that's when she kind of realized like, oh, you know, he's really big. Oh, I'm such a fucking dumbass. Just basically she was taking in the sights, but she didn't really know how to react to taking in the sights because she's not really like that. She doesn't have an issue with nudity if it's from a distance. And not that he was nude, but she's never been that close to really a shirtless teenage boy, is what I'm trying to say. So she just gave him his homework and she proceeded to do that over some time. And then he finally asked her like, what the fuck is your deal? And she's like, I want to be friends. And he's like, why? Why do you want to be friends? So like I said, this is prequel stuff, so this is not something that we'd probably learn in the comic, like in the current comic. But basically, she wasn't dared by a friend to befriend him. There was just like a thing where Annie strongly believes that there's no reason for people to live with hatred with one another, because we're all human, so like there's no good reason for it. And one of her friends, who is her best friend, who we will meet in chapter 3, pointed it out, like, you say that, but have you noticed that you're not really friends with people who aren't like you? And she was like, take a look at your friend group. We all go to church, we're all, you know, we all do the same, like, Sunday thing. We're all good girls, we do our homework, we go to school, we don't really do anything wrong. So basically her friend was like, you know, try and be friends with someone who you'd never be friends with. And then like next Sunday, like Annie's like balls deep into thinking about this because she's like, oh shit, am I a hypocrite? And she's just like, I want to be friends with people, but like, you know, like there are laws of attraction when it comes to friendship. Normally you are attracted to people who have similar interests as you. If you are too similar, sometimes that can actually backfire. Or that can work out really well. And that Sunday just happens to be the Sunday that she saw Curtis, and she was like, he is the perfect guy to befriend because he is nothing like me. He's always ditching school. He, you know, he's a big bad boy. Like, you know, he's basically the very much opposite of Annie. And that's how basically their friendship started. He actually did not want to be friends with her still though. But she was very persistent. She pulled a Myrna, and if you guys don't know what that I mean, I don't know if it's actually still in the character bios. Let me look. This is going to take a while because for some reason my site has been a little on the slow side. Okay, so I did remove it, but in the old bios it said that Myrna, she pushed herself to befriend Hel. Myrna is like the outgoing friend or the extrovert friend, and Hel was the introvert friend. This is what basically happened. Annie is the extrovert, Curtis was the introvert. He didn't want to be friends with her, but she was very pushy, and so he made a deal with her. He's like, if you can handle the things that I'm into, and I can handle the things that you're into, we can be friends. If not, let's just pretend we never knew each other and just go on about our day. Like, you know. He was basically like, I don't want to be friends, but if it turns out that we can actually be friends and we do actually enjoy each other's company and all that, sure, we can try to be friends. But he's well aware that they're from two different worlds. And he's okay with that, and, you know, she's obviously not. She wants to try and be friends. So that happens, and they start being friends. I'm not gonna go into the rest, because I know the rest is definitely mentioned in the comic. Especially in chapter 3, we'll definitely get, like, a deep dive into, like, the more, close timeline stuff. So basically what I was telling you basically happened their sophomore year. Annie is would technically be a senior right now in the comic. And by that I mean a senior in high school. So they officially became friends or whatever during their sophomore year of high school. So as you can see, it's like a year plus of, you know, that's been out there. I don't know English words. Basically, I'm just saying that, like, what happened within the last 6 months will definitely be discussed in the comic, and that's where I'm just going to, like, I won't tell you, so there won't be any spoilers. But before that, that's mostly prequel stuff. Like, even if Annie really does get a prequel, it's probably going to be like a conjoined prequel of her and Curtis. So we might see bits and pieces of their life at separate times, just because they don't really have much going on. Like, you know, they're both 17. What much of a prequel can they have besides being born and, like, having their childhood and teenage years? That's it. Like, there's not much to it. Alright, this is actually almost done. So, I know because I was talking about the background or history a lot. Basically, on the multiply layer of the orange color-coded, which I assume you can see here. Okay. So yeah, when I'm flicking back and forth, that is the shading of his skin. I already explained it. What I did, I used a special brush that is like, it's like a paintbrush. It kind of blends, and it's kind of harsh. So it gives, like, a good, like, skin texture shading kind of look. I did his bandages, which I said was going to be on one layer. Actually, I might bloody the bandages, which now I'm making a new layer, and that's going to be under the red, because I want to bloody it a bit. I'm just going to put it right here. And I'm just going to, like, blend it out, but I'm going to use, like, a harsh blender, so it looks more stained and, not fresh, but, like, you know, it's soaked in, is basically what I wanted to say. The thing is that whose blood is this? Is this Curtis's blood? Someone else's blood? Dun 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 dun. No, I'm kidding. It's probably Curtis's blood. Or is it? Dun dun dun. Okay, I'm gonna stop that. So yeah. Don't worry. It's not tic-tac-toe. It's just blood. Let's just say it fell down his arm or something. I don't know. And I think I might try to bruise his skin a little bit. What is this? This is for his nails. Okay. I'm going to try and bruise his skin, which I'm going to use a purple layer, and I'm going to use a muted, like, lilac, I think. And I'm just going to put it on here. I think I might... What does it look multiplied? Okay. Looks good. So I'm just going to try and bruise his skin out a little. Not do anything, like, much to it, just bruise it a little. I don't know if the pinky would get a lot of impact, so I'm not going to bother doing his pinky too much. I feel like, you know, going against Curtis, I'm not saying, like, he's a badass, but I know that if he were to punch me in the face, I would definitely take more damage than his hand would, so that's why I don't want to go overboard with, like, the bruising. But I also feel like it would be realistic for him to have some bruising because his skin, like, you know, obviously when you hurt your skin, it... Actually, bruising, isn't it from, like, bursted blood vessels or something? I don't know. He has bruises now, okay? We're just gonna go with that. Okay, now I'm going to add another layer, which is a yellow layer, and that's going to be the glow layer. So the glow layer is really for like the skin shine. So basically like this, because I like to do that. I think it makes it look, you know, pretty, kinda. It doesn't really work well when it goes on bruising. Or the knuckles because of the thing. But this. No, and I'm just gonna blend. Oops, that's the wrong one. I'm just gonna blend this side out. I think we are done. Okay. Let me hide his thing. Oh wait, no, we're not done. We are not done. We have his cigarette to do. Okay, his cigarette isn't much. I'm not gonna put a lot of effort into it. Oh, that's not his cigarette layer. Is this a cigarette? Okay, this is his cigarette layer. I'm just gonna do this. And then I'm going to do this. Oh, there we go. Now it's done. I think that's a really big cigarette, but I think it's fine. Oh, actually, another thing I've been liking to do, I like to multiply the ink layer. I'm going to lock it, and I'm actually going to select like a darkish, like muted reddish color. I'm just going to go over some of his lines, just to kind of like blend it into his skin. And then what you don't like, you can obviously darken. So like over here, I would darken. Here. I normally don't really like using this on him because, like, you know, he's a big goth boy, like it just doesn't seem suitable. At the same time, it's nice to just lighten up the lines a little bit and make it seem more skin tone-ish. And this is done. So there's this, and then there was this, which was Avina's, which I really liked, but I just didn't enjoy hers as much as his. And I think this would just be a better option. And I think it would be great because when the public are, you know, because you guys know this now, but when the public sees it, they're gonna be like, oh fuck, that's Curtis's hand, because, you know, he's wearing his gloves, got his bandages, and he has a cigarette. He's gonna be in this chapter, and I think that will be very fucking exciting. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I know I talked a lot, and I gave a lot of like prequel spoilers, but let's be honest, who knows if I'm ever really gonna get to do the prequels. The one I know that I definitely want to do is Hel's prequel, because Hel's history is very large, and I think her story would make a great like series of comics or books. I've been actually debating if I want to do hers in like a book format since it's so large. But thank you all for watching and tuning in. I hope you liked this cover, and I hope you had fun getting some prequel spoilers and information. I can't wait for this chapter to start. It's so exciting. Okay, I'm gonna finish talking. I'm actually just trying to find my mouse so I can stop the recording. Oh my god, where is my mouse? Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna say bye now, and I'll just edit the rest out. Bye! Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.